Good afternoon, everyone. Jonathan Davis here with Davis Autosports. I'm truly excited to offer you guys this Jeep. It's absolutely amazing. It's a 2001. It's a late production '01. It was produced just shy of June of '01, so closer to the '02 production. Nonetheless, titles of '01 Sahara TJ, right color, absolutely gorgeous. Please make sure to watch this entire video because this is a truly amazing Jeep. You do not find them in this condition anymore. I'm the owner here at Davis Autosports. In the last 3 to 4 weeks alone, we have listed a '05 Jeep TJ with 5,000 miles, '05 with 28,000 miles, '04 with 70,000 miles, and the one with 28 is sold. Those two are still available. And we have one inside the shop that we just sold, an '06 with 22,000 miles. All TJs, very low mileage that I just went over. And this TJ is nicer than every single one of those condition-wise, other than the 5,000 mile one owner museum quality TJ over there. I have seen hundreds and hundreds of Wranglers. We've sold hundreds. I've seen probably thousands. And this is probably the nicest Wrangler I've come across, given the year and given the mileage. As stated, it's an '01. It has 125,000 miles, but as you'll see in this video, this thing truly could pass for a 10,000 mile TJ. It's that nice. It's all original. Now, for you guys that follow us and you're familiar with us, you guys know that we typically, given the condition, the mileage, different variables, we often modify our TJs here at Davis Autosports. The 5,000 mile one, obviously we didn't. 28, 78 modified. Even the one with 22,000 miles inside is modified. But this thing is just so clean, so original, and the Saharas just sort of have a phenomenal look stock. Color match flares, green seats, tan tops, just gorgeous. So we're going to offer this Jeep just the way it is. However, if you want us to modify it, I think what looks best on these, in my opinion, a clean, simple 2.5-inch lift, BFG KO2 all-terrains, white walls out. These these wheels look okay on them, but we can upgrade to a Rubicon-style Moab DAS wheel that we have great offset, and that thing will really set this thing off. But we are selling it the way it is, and we're going to go ahead and do a good close-up of all the panels. My crew here at Davis Autosports, we did do a full paint correction service on this. However, this thing came in, it really didn't need it. I bought this directly from the owner. I went to his house to purchase it. He has a 4-car garage that I thought I was OCD. He was a master carpenter, and all of his tools were perfect. His battery chargers completely lined up. There was no cord showing anywhere. There wasn't cobwebs in his garage. I mean, it was literally flawless, as is his Jeep. So as we walk around this Jeep, we are shooting this in 4K. Make sure you are watching this in 4K. Check out the emblems. They're absolutely perfect. Hinges have never been off. Check out a profile of the front windshield. The side step right here, we refinished that. This is not arm raw. We refinished it with an automotive paint. So no arm raw on that whatsoever. So this thing, and we do that with all the black items on our Jeeps. Just over time, the black dye, even if they're garage kept, dye and plastic just slowly fades away no matter what. So all the black on this Jeep, and we'll touch on the bumpers, those have all been done as well. Just gives it a nice pop. But just look at the paint on this thing. The body panels are straight as can be. We went ahead and replaced the handles just because over years of putting your hand in there, your nails, if you have rings, all that sort of stuff, these handles can get a little bit, you know, wear and tear on them, and they're inexpensive. We stock them, so we went ahead and replaced both panels. We redo the seals as well, so that gives it a nice clean look. Absolutely gorgeous tan factory hardtop that is in perfect condition. And when you see this Jeep in person, especially with the windows down where you can get a glance, let's go ahead and do it. Because when you can see these seats, with the white paint, spice top matching the backside of the seats, it's just absolutely timeless. Beautiful contrast stitching as well. I think this particular Sahara is the nicest TJ, in my opinion, as far as classiness, just timeless look. Obviously, Rubicons have their advantages in other departments, but I mean, this thing is just absolutely timeless. Also, if you're looking at this and you're interested in this, we do have inside a 80,000 mile Sahara green that we are doing a full 2-inch lift, full service, everything else as well. Full disclosure, this one is much nicer condition wise. So as mentioned earlier, repainted, and repainted. So no armor all to give it a dark black look that you may see online elsewhere that will fade away as soon as the silicone gets rained on. You see this gloss on this paint is absolutely perfect, and that's every single panel. When we buffed the flares, the fenders, the hood, everything. Seals perfect all the way around. Once again, no bits inside the screws. These wheels usually take a beating as well. The wheels are in great condition as shown. Nicely, freshly painted side step. The roll bar inside also, this Jeep, even with the top off, looks good with the spice padding on the roll bar. New handle on this side as well, obviously. But just look at how flat these doors are, the paint. I mean, this thing, if it had 10,000 miles, you would not argue with it. And that's one of the things with these drive lines. They literally, if you take care of them, will last forever. If you guys are unfamiliar with us, which most of you guys know all about us, those are 3 rows back of client vehicles, from mostly Cherokees and TJs. We do a few other vehicles as well, but so it's essentially rows of 10 and 3 of them. So we have roughly 25, 30 privately owned TJs and Cherokees here that we're restoring. And we see so many of them, we come across so many of them, and a lot of those Jeeps have 300 or approaching 300,000 miles, and they're still running good. So with something like this Jeep, although 125,000 miles in the Jeep world is really nothing, when it's this well taken care of, it's more so. Just these things can run 300,000-400,000 miles, and with the condition of a Jeep like this, there's no reason that this Jeep will not. You'll hear me in all of my videos when it comes to Jeep saying we did the rear main seal, we did the valve cover gasket, we did the oil pan gasket, because they all leaked in all those Jeeps, or had seepage at least. This Jeep, we didn't do those. They're not needed. They were previously done, and this thing doesn't leak. This guy wouldn't have a, a Jeep in his garage that leaked, I can promise you that. So, and same holds true with the differentials. It's probably one of the only Jeeps that I've ever bought besides the 5K Jeep that didn't have any leaks. So as you see, the exterior is absolutely gorgeous. There's no issue with the handle. That was just me not opening it up all the way. I had a spray bottle that was right here of glass cleaner, and it was upright. And when I moved the Jeep, as we photograph it, you'll see in the pictures, it's facing that way to photograph this side. Then I get in it, flip it around to take pictures of the other side. So I'm always photographing on this part of the parking lot. And when I got out, the nozzle sprayed. So that's actually just wet from the glass cleaner still. The inside of this thing, if you're seeing variations in the carpet and floor mats, that's just the way the carpet was last touched. Those are no stains whatsoever anywhere. The underneath is perfect. The floor pans on this thing too, but I spend about an hour looking at a Jeep before I buy it, especially when I have the conveniency of being at somebody's house or something like that, and took all the carpet, not out, but lifted it up, saw just about every square inch. But when you see 90%, you've seen enough, especially somebody like me that knows these things inside and out. So floor pans are absolutely perfect. As you see, these seats are absolutely gorgeous. Steering wheel, there's no wear. Vents are in great condition. No cracking of the dash. Usually these grills are very, very brittle and crack up. This is a common area for water to get down, and that's usually rusted. No issues there whatsoever. Non-smoker, cigarette lighter has not been used. 5-speed, both keys, which are chipped. Got all your books and manuals and factory lug lock key as well. Super clean. These rarely stay in a Jeep, especially one this old. So to find one of these original in great condition still in the Jeep really speaks about the history of this thing. Carpet's perfect. Once again, floor mats underneath are perfect. Padding's perfect, all intact. It's the right one. Beautiful contrast stitching. I mean, this thing is just... The speaker grill on the other side of this is perfect. It's not cracked. So we did not touch this engine bay at all. We didn't pressure wash it. We didn't degrease it. Water has not even touched it. There's still surface dirt everywhere. So you're seeing this thing just the way it is. It was an older guy that owned this Jeep. So just being sort of an old school guy, he upgraded the cooling system to a very nice double core all aluminum radiator, which is a very nice feature that this Jeep has. Added a little breather intake system with a throttle body just to get some more air. Usually these develop a little area of wear here just because water can sit there. There's a lot of different reasons, but as you see, very clean here. Usually there's some wear and tear inside of those fenders as well, but very, very, very clean. Today's actually a pretty decent day here temperature-wise. When I went to go pick this Jeep up, it was probably about 96, 97, very humid. And I intentionally started it as soon as I got there. I let a vehicle run as much as possible when I look at it to make sure that, you know, there's no issue. So the whole time I'm looking at it cosmetically, frame-wise, all that, I'm letting it run. I have the AC on full blast. And AC was ice cold the entire time, even at idle on a very hot, humid day. AC's already cold right now. Some people ask what the light is in the top right corner that will come on from time to time. That is an arrow that's recommending that you shift up. The light on the center seatbelt light. I'll go ahead and throw it on. You'll see it come off. We're in first gear, second, third, fourth, and fifth. I'm gonna go ahead and roll up these windows. Just give me 1 second. So this road has deep crowns in the road because this is a common road for logging trucks, really all semis, to cut through some of the highways that we have going on here. But there's a lot of logging that goes on in this area. And this thing, usually TJs, if they're not in the condition they should be in, steering and suspension wise, are sort of all over the place on this road because of the crowns. And this thing you can drive with one finger. Smooth as can be, track's perfect. That down. Doesn't get any nicer, guys. Fifth, I'm going to go to third, come off the clutch, in with the clutch, second, off of the clutch. Brakes work exactly as they should. Put it in four-wheel drive, light instantly came on. I can tell by the way the steering wheel is gripping on the asphalt, it's definitely in four-wheel drive. And it is instantly out of four-wheel drive. Oh, let's see. go, completely out. Won't be able to turn like this in four-wheel drive on the asphalt. Keep it in second from a slightly roll start. Go ahead and get the RPMs up a little bit more this time around. And I just do this just to show you that everything functions as it should. You should easily be able to get the RPMs up. No issue whatsoever. Clutch should be able to grab. Now we're in 5th gear. Temperature back of 210. Most TJs operate at the 210 mark. Today I did say it's decent, but that's compared to 96 and humid. So it's still probably in the mid 80s at least today, which feels decent compared to the weather we've been having. And it's still well below a normal operating range, thanks to the upgraded radiator, which really keeps it nice and cool. So when we get back to the shop, I'm going to show you guys the undercarriage. We have pictures on the listing as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to go to our website, davisautosports.com, where you're going to get more information on this Jeep. We just use YouTube to host our videos. If you want to leave comments about the video, feel free to. If you want if you have a question that you really need answered right away, I suggest you giving us a call or shooting us an email as opposed to leaving a comment. But when we get back to the office, I'll crawl underneath of it. The previous owners years ago undercoated the Jeep, which was a smart thing to do. But you'll see, and I'm going to show you that it's nothing we did, because the undercarriage, or the undercoat, excuse me, is, you can tell it's rather old by the way it's sort of cracking. It's been on there for years. I did ask the owner when I was purchasing it if they would allow me, they knew I was very serious, if they would allow me to remove some of the undercoat. I didn't have to do that. I just felt more comfortable doing it. I could tell by how smooth it laid down that there was no rust underneath of it. And I could also tell it was put on years and years ago to prevent rust. But we're pulling up to the shop now, and I'll show you some areas that I pulled undercoat off of the floor pan and frame, and we'll get right here in the shade. So you can tell by the undercoat that it's been here for absolutely ever. It's even got little chips and everything, but this is some of the area that I started peeling off. And I can peel off more. And I did it in different areas throughout the Jeep. And every area I peeled off looked absolutely perfect. So here you can tell it's very smooth. It's got some slight cracking just because it's aged. But he brought it to a place to have it done, and it was done correctly. And you can even tell little areas of the bolts where it's coming off. The bolts don't have any rust, and I can tell you these bolts always have rust. So everything was done, even bushings, which was pretty nice, and that would prevent them. If you look at the body mount bushing here, what's actually coming off is undercoat, and when you take it off, see if I can focus in there, the rubber bushing is absolutely perfect. There's no dry rotting. So everything was done. The brackets were done. So it was very, very wise, and the end result. So I'll see if I can take some more off. It's hard to take off. It's good stuff. I don't know what it is. I wish we could get some of it, but the control arms are perfect. This goes all the way around the frame as well. And inside of the frame, usually on the inside of these, when you feel the inside, they're rough and have all sorts of issues. The inside is super smooth. But what you see here is what the entire floor pan is, the entire frame. So that's something that's very nice that this Jeep has always had its entire life. When I was at his place, he actually gave me a flathead screwdriver because this stuff is thick. But as you see, I could do this to any part of the Jeep, because at first glance you may say, oh, that looks a little rough, but all it is the coating that's been on there for a long time. So really, really good stuff. Even did like the wheel wells and everything, but it would come off with a pressure washer, but I don't think there's any reason to remove it. In my opinion, it's doing its job, and it's good stuff. So there she is. She's a beauty. She's not going to last long. Most of our TJs, the white one with 22 sold right away. The Rubicon over there with 28 is sold. So you guys know these go fast. If you have any questions, 855-955-3377. Thank you.